Hey guys, I'm going to walk you through what's included with the biographical sketches and fictionalized autobiographical sketch project. I'm going to have to change this name. Essentially, it is a Google Slides project that you can easily assign through your Google Classroom or by sharing a link with your students and having them make a copy. And here's what it includes. They would probably just make a copy of this whole thing and use the slides that they need. Ooh, I don't like that. Get rid of that extra thing. If you're doing it by yourself, this is directions that's saying it's your top 5 role models. And if you're doing it as a group, it would be top 10. And instructions that say, hey, every time you add a new person to your group, you're going to give another couple people, so that if you scale the assignment up, it doesn't like shorten the length of the assignment. And this is duplicated. That does not make any sense. I want to double check the one on the Teachers Pay Teachers that I'm in the right document now. So then there's directions on what to do. It's just saying you're going to do an introduction page of your first influential person. And so my example is Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then you're going to summarize that person and answer why you chose them, what they accomplished, what makes them worthy of being a role model. And so I have a little breakdown from Neil deGrasse Tyson. A quote from that person, and in a complete sentence, your writing introduces the quote. So yours is going to look like our favorite quote is, and then the quote, and then the citation. And this is sometimes the first time I introduce my students to in-text citations, or just how to quote from a source within, putting a citation in there and holding onto those links, because I do this in middle school. Then sometimes I cut this out, depending on the person they're choosing, but generally I want them to think about, okay, how does this person that I chose make any money? And in what ways? So I wrote a little bit about Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I put a source there because I want them to like dig into it. If they pick LeBron James, hopefully it's more than just his salary from NBA. It's the endorsements, it's video game likenesses, it's all sorts of stuff. So then inserting a video clip of that person, from going insert video, and generally telling us where on the video that they would want to show, because when they're presenting this to the class, you're not going to watch a 5-minute video for each person. And then they're supposed to do that for every one of their 5 people. So this is, if they're averaging one person's 5 slides every day, then they would have to do it 5 times. Was there one I missed? Fields of expertise? I may have cut that out of this one. I'm going to double check that I'm in the right thing. The fictionalized autobiographical sketch is, okay, pick one of your 5 people and then possibly write a short story based off of that. That might be something you want to cut, especially if you're not in an English class. But I did like a real quick Neil deGrasse Tyson first-person story. This was actually part of my curriculum, fictionalized autobiographical sketch, because this is going to be something kids do all the time when they're older in the future. So I was like really struggling, like how do I get them to approach doing this? And the whole project was like a way to get to this, but it might be something you want to cut. And I put a little bit about where their grades were coming from, presenting, being listeners, their story, and you're going to personalize this for your own class. Like maybe you don't want the story, maybe you don't want to make it 5 people. Field of expertise, I'm going to double check the Teachers Pay Teachers that whether or not this is on here. If that slide appears in your slideshow presentation, it would just be saying, okay, look, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a scientist, he's a physicist. So look at the field and figure out what other jobs there are in that field. That was a way because the first time I did this, I didn't have that slide, and this one doesn't look like I have it either, so I'm going to double check. But if that appears, it was a way to get my students to not all say basketball, not all go give LeBron James. I also made a rule for my class that once you use somebody in a certain field, that field was off limits for the other 4 people. So I don't want 4 athletes. If you use an athlete, okay, give me someone else. Give me an actor. Give me a politician. Give me a philanthropist. Give me something in another field, because I wanted them to really expand their horizons with this. And then ultimately give me a short story based on someone else's point of view, which is a strange assignment. So if it sounded weird, it's because it was a weird assignment attached to a really cool project. So I hope that this serves you well. I get about a week out of this because it's generally they average 1 person, all 5 slides for 1 person every day. But students who struggle with that are going to take much longer. So you might want to cut. You might want to have it the top 5 most influential people, and then if they start struggling, make it top 3. And as the first one finishes, if they present, the people who are struggling are going to be like, okay, now I got to pick it up because Billy just presented and gave me 5, and I'm working on person number 1. So anyway, I hope this serves your class well, and I wish you well. Thank you.